Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video on cream highlighting and contouring. I wanted to show you guys how I cream, highlight, and contour, basically meaning using concealers to highlight and contour my face. Keep in mind that this is not an everyday routine for me, so before you guys say that's too much makeup, this is just the steps that I take when I cream contour. If I contour my face with just powders, I take less steps, and a lot of times I don't even contour my face. I just bronze up my skin a little bit, and that's even less. So hopefully this video is not too long, and yeah, if you guys would like to see how I got the cream contour and highlight that I'm rocking right now, then be sure to stay tuned. Thanks guys. Well, when you're cream contouring, anytime you're doing makeup, especially if you're applying foundation, you want to apply a primer first because it's going to help the longevity of your makeup, and primers work in different ways. I'm going to use two today. I'm going to use the PoreFessional from Benefit to kind of cover up my pores, and because to kind of close my pores because they're like open. So I'm just going to apply this to my nose and to my chin because those are the areas where my pores are like the largest. And for the rest of my face, I'm going to use this primer here, and this is a primer from Hard Candy, and this is the Sheer Envy Primer Ultralight formula. And what this primer is supposed to do is to help the longevity of your makeup, and it also is supposed to even out your skin tone, so it kind of helps your foundation to glide on easy and kind of blurs out the imperfections in your skin. So I'm going to apply this on the rest of my face. Alright, so moving on to contouring. So anytime I do cream contouring using concealers, if I'm using my Pro Sculpting cream, I probably would put this on top of my foundation, but because I am using this concealer in particular, I'm going to put it on under my foundation because it is darker. It's one of the darkest concealers that I own, and this is why I apply it under my foundation, because it kind of lightens up and looks more natural under my foundation than it does on top of my foundation. This is a LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the color Dark Cocoa. So if you have one that's like 1 or 2 shades darker than your skin tone, then you can put that one on top of your foundation. But because like I said, this one is dark, I'm going to put this one under there. So I'm going to go ahead and apply just a little. Alright, so I'm going to put about that much on, and I like to apply it like this because I'm in like total control of how much I put on my face. And I put about that much on my hand, and I'm going to go in with a pointed foundation brush from Real Technique, and I'm just going to apply it in this area here first. This is the shadows of your cheekbones. Some people have to make this face to actually see where the line goes, and some people have to kind of move it like this, move your face like that to see exactly where to place the line. But as you can see, my face is like kind of naturally contoured. I call it naturally contoured, but my face is actually sunk in right there, so I can actually see where it goes, so I don't have to make that face. I just kind of resting face. So that's really what I do. But if you feel the need, and definitely if you have to find them, just do that, or just to find the area where you want to put it. And I'm actually going to take it around this area here, because as you can see, when I smile, you can see that area, but when I'm making my resting face, you can't really see it that well. So I'm going to actually take a little bit and just connect it there. So I'm going to go in front of, like in this area here. I'm not going to bring it all the way up to my nose, but I'm just going to stop it like here. So when I smile, or when my face is resting, it automatically looks like my cheekbones are like that high. I know it looks crazy now, but it's gonna come together soon. Alright, next I'm going to take it and put a little bit on my forehead. Now the forehead part is for those of you that have bigger foreheads and even smaller foreheads. Like you want to highlight to make your forehead look bigger, and you want to contour to make your forehead look smaller. I do both because I don't think my forehead is that big, but sometimes it can look a little big depending on how I have my hair. So today I'm just going to do it how I would naturally do it, and I'm just going to take it and put a little bit in that area there. I call it the temple, but just like that. And then I'm gonna take and put it in like dashes. It's not gonna go into a full complete line. It's just gonna be like a dash across my forehead like that. Now I'm gonna take it on the sides of my nose. Now this is gonna contour my nose, and it's gonna make my nose look more narrow and slim. So I'm going to take it down the sides of my nose, and I'm gonna connect it in the middle. We're going to take a little bit down the jawline here. This is just gonna make it look, your jawline look more slimmy. Blend this concealer here upwards with the same brush, and you want to blend it upwards because you don't want to really blend it downwards because it can make your face look a little droopy kind of. So you want to blend it upward, and I'm just blending everything out. I mean, blending everything into my skin. This one I'm just gonna, it's easier for me to blend this out with my finger, and this area here with my finger as well. I know it looks really crazy right now. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with my concealer. This concealer is the same color as my skin tone, so I am going to put this on under my foundation because it's going to help cover up those dark circles. This is actually going to conceal my dark circles. I'm going to put this on under here so that when I put my concealer on top of my foundation, if that just so happens to leave, then my dark circles are not going to be peeking through. This makes a huge difference in this. And I only do this, like I said, if I'm cream contouring or if my dark circles are really bad that day. You want to use one that's the same color as your skin tone, one with a pink undertone, or an orange concealer. Orange concealers work very well with this one. As you can see with this one, it kind of has a little, well, you can't really see it on camera, but it has like a little orange tint to it, and it's really close to my skin tone. So I'm going to use this one to conceal these dark circles under my eyes. And this one is in the color Warm Honey, and it's also by LA Girl. Alright, and then I'm going to just blend that out, and I'm going to just use this 3D HD Precision brush from Sigma to blend this out. Alright, so now I'm going to cover all of this up with my foundation. This is going to help everything look blended together and everything just look put together. It's not going to look like a crazy mess on my face anymore. So I'm just going to, you can actually go in with any foundation for this. I'm going to go in with my Estee Lauder Devil Wear Stay in Place makeup because I love this foundation dearly. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. And like I said, this is going to help everything look blended together. And I am going to just use any type of foundation brush. I'm actually going to use this brush here, since this is in my hand, 3D Kabuki brush from Sigma. Okay, so now my foundation is looking a little light, but that's okay because if you guys watch the review, you do know that this foundation is too light for me, but I always make it work, and trust me, it's gonna come together later. As you can see, you can still see my contour peeking through, but that concealed my dark circles once I applied my foundation on top of that. So I am going to go back in with my concealer to highlight with now. Now this concealer is the same type of concealer, LA Girl Pro Conceal, and it's in the color Cool Tan. This one is about a shade lighter than my skin tone, so I'm actually going to use this to highlight. The problem that a lot of people have when they highlight and contour and use concealers is that they try to use a highlighting concealer under their eyes, but the highlighting concealer is not necessarily concealing. So you want to use this one that's your skin tone and then go in with the highlighting concealer, and this is going to help those that have dark circles. It's going to help those not peek through, if that makes sense. I'm also going to take it down the bridge of my nose and in like a triangle shape on my forehead. This is going to highlight my forehead. And I'm going to take a little bit on my cupid's bow and my chin area. So those are the areas that I'm highlighting. These are the areas when light hits my face. This is the area that I want to reflect the light off my face. So I'm just going to blend that out, and I'm actually going to use a different brush to blend this out because it is a lot more concealer. And I'm going to use the Expert Face Brush from Real Technique to blend this out. And as you can see, once I'm blending it out, I'm actually cleaning up my eye makeup as well. This is why I wait to do my bottom lash line makeup, the rest of my eye makeup on my bottom lash line, because it kind of smears a little bit. So I am waiting to do that until after I finish this. Alright, so now I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and just blend out any harsh lines that the concealer, like where the concealer and the foundation meet. So now that I have all of these liquid products on my face, cream products and all of that, I want to set all of this, and this is just going to help it last longer because I do have combination to oily skin, therefore it will come off in those areas where I tend to get oily at, and I just don't want to look a mess. Setting it with the powder will help it last longer. So I am going to set everywhere where I highlighted it with my Nye Banana Powder. This powder here is so messy, but it is one of my favorite powders. Now if you're one of those people where you set this powder on your face and you let it set while you do the rest of your makeup, then be sure to knock it completely off, because you will still be able to see it if you take pictures, or even if you're just walking around, you have powder on your face and you don't want it to look like you're snorting coke. You don't want that. So you want to knock it completely off. However, I'm one of those people where I don't just let it sit on my face. I actually press it into my skin as I'm going along, and it gives me the same finish it gets in. I don't really have to let it sit like that, and that way I know all of the powder is off of my face because of that. So everywhere I highlighted that, down the bridge of my nose, my forehead, under my eyes, my chin, I'm going to apply this powder because it is lighter than my skin tone, and like I said, it's going to help the light reflect those areas of my face. So, and if you look at your face bare skin with no makeup on, you will actually see these areas where I highlighted it is already highlighted on your face. I'm gonna set this with a contour brush from Real Technique. Alright, so since that is set, I want to set the rest of my face, and I'm going to set this with a powder, a Studio Fix powder from MAC, and this one is in the color MC45, and it just looks like this. And I'm going to actually use this to set all around those areas where I don't have my highlight at. As you can see, the difference between this side and this side, even though as I was talking the foundation started to like blend in with my skin, it's still starting to look blended in because of the powder here. So, and now I look orange. It's going to start looking put together, and as you can see, it's doing it as I talk, and everything looks together. Now I'm using the bronzer from the Turks and Caios set from the e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzer set. I'm going to use a powder brush from Nye Banana to do this because this is a darker powder, so I have to be very, very careful doing this. So I am going to just use it to bronze my face. So you can see it's very, very bronzy. Now I like to use this brush, and I like to use this brush here. This is a contouring brush from Nye Banana. This one will actually get in there and get that harsh line. So if I'm not using a cream contour, that is the one that I'm using to contour my face with. So just to throw that out there. And you want to use a kind of taupey brown or a gray brown. If you're darker, you can even go with a black to contour your face with if you're like really, really dark. And I am going to actually take another brush, a smaller brush. This one is one of the brushes that I got off of eBay in the little set thingies, and I'm actually going to take this down the sides of my nose to set that contour. And you want to do this lightly because you don't want it to be too harsh. Okay, now that everything is set, I'm going to go ahead and add my highlight and my blush. This video is going to be so long. Alright, so the blush that I'm using today is from LA Colors, and this is in the color Natural. This is like a $2 blush that you can get from Dollar General, I think, but it's so pretty. I love this blush so much. So what I'm going to do is put it on the apples of my cheek, and I'm also going to bring it back towards my sideburns back here to kind of put it in line with the bronzer that I have going on. And I'm going to do the same over here. And I'm doing this so that it can be blended together as I'm going along. I am going to go back in and blend everything together, but I want to make sure it's blended together as I'm going along. Alright, so this next step is optional. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I do it and I love it. So I am going to take an e.l.f. bronzer, Healthy Glow bronzer from e.l.f. A lot of you guys are familiar with this because I talk about it all the time, and I love this bronzer, but it is more so of a highlight. Yes, my top is broke, so I'm just going to use this. And what I like to do is just take this kind of dual-ended brush, and this one is from Forever 21, and it's kind of a fluffy type brush. So what I like to do is just move it around here and knock off any excess, and take it and kind of sweep it across my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and in the apples of my cheek. This is going to give me that natural highlight, and it's going to look like I'm glowing from within, adding highlight. So I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. baked blush, and this one is in the color Pinktastic. It's like a highlighter. It's super light, so I don't even know why they call it a blush. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take a foundation brush from Keevie, and I am going to apply this on the highest points of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. And this is just going to add that extra highlight that I want to my face, because I love highlighting my face, and it's intense, right? Very intense. And don't worry, I'm gonna blend it out. I know you're probably like, girl, that's a lot of highlight, but I am gonna blend it out. Last but not least is blending. You want to blend everything together just to make sure everything is put together. And as you can see, this highlight is very intense, so I'm gonna blend everything together so it won't look as intense. And of course, you want to spray all of that. Once you have all of your makeup on, you don't want to forget to spray it, because it is going to intensify your highlight, and it's going to just take away that powdery look. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to do it once I finish all of my makeup, but this is the last step that I do once I finish everything, and it's very important. Alright guys, so that is how I cream, highlight, and contour. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to share it so others can see it. Be sure to follow me on my social media networks. All of the descriptions will be linked in the description box below, and you can also check them out here on the side over here. I have my names of them over here. Check out my previous video below here, and check out okievihoward.com, which is my fashion blog. That's where I upload most of my fashion posts, so definitely check that out if you guys are interested in my style. If you tweeted me, your tweets will be there, and don't forget to subscribe. The big old red subscribe button there. That is about it. So I don't think I have anything else to ask you guys to do. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Lips are filling your lips with. So that is basically what ColourPop is.